Alright guys, welcome to another video. In this one, I'm going to talk to you about how to scale with Andromeda, and I'm going to talk to you about two specific things: creative diversification and signal quality from examples. So I'm going to literally pick Ads Manager screenshots, and we're going to go over what's working for me and what's not, and then I will explain creative diversification and signal quality. So this is going to be probably the first practical Andromeda video that you will see, and I think this is very important because, at this point, you have probably already seen a bunch of videos going over the articles from meta engineers, just YouTube videos about the theory. And that's super important. And I did the same thing, right? So I did this video a month ago, 10,000 views, and that was phenomenal, very useful, really good feedback. Everybody understood what Andromeda is. But now, what do we do? And what are people doing and what are the results? Because so far, it's something new. So the big media buyers just talk about the intention and the direction. And I do the same. But as quick as possible, I started taking action. And so today I'm going to talk to you about what's going on, right? So, the first thing is creative diversification and how to do it to cover the full funnel with diversification, horizontal diversification, vertical diversification, and then signal quality and data, okay? So this video is coming from me last week, giving this 25-page document about Meta Andromeda during Black Friday to people in my coaching. So we were doing this Black Friday training, and we were talking about how to face Black Friday with the algorithm, creative diversification metrics, CPM, and my tests and what's working. And then I thought, let's make a YouTube video because almost nobody's sharing anything practical about Andromeda and everybody needs it. So yeah, this is what I shared with them. And here you see the dynamic, basically what we're doing right now, where people ask, hey Manel, do you think this is diversified, or what else would you do? And then we just have how to best face Andromeda, right? So now we're gonna bring it to YouTube. Let's just see the things that I've been doing. And then again, I will explain the two most important concepts to consider to succeed in Andromeda before Black Friday: creative diversification and signal quality. So the examples, actually a year ago, I started doing these diversification CBOs, and I found some crazy success right before Black Friday, which we need for this year. So these are the tests that I was doing. So as you can see here, CBO, creative diversification, CBO, creative diversification, this one and this one, right? And so what I was seeing here was actually really good performance, 2.7 ROAS against average. It was much better. And this was in October. So then I took this one campaign that worked well and I hyperscaled it during Black Friday. So this is November. And if you can see this ad account, the top #1 campaign when we order by purchases was the CBO diversification. So a bunch of different creatives inside in a specific structure, 4.29 ROAS. And my Black Friday campaign had a ROAS of 2.88. And here actually I was able to spend 13K. It's crazy, right? An evergreen diversified campaign was the best last year. And as you can see also, with this diversification, I had this CPM advantage in November, in Black Friday, of paying 26 in the US, where in the other campaigns I was paying 38, 49, 46. This doesn't count because it's view content, but it was cheaper to scale, right? Then in June, July of this year, I also started doing in another account the same thing, mixing 22 statics, mixing 20 different ads, and the results were amazing, right? 5x ROAS, 3.48, and so far 130K from this diversification, so very good. Recent adaptation to Andromeda, now in September, you can see that I've been doing different tests where I've got just one ad set, then I've got this, then I've got 3 ad sets, full funnel all the time, trying to cover all of the funnel, and the results were some campaigns give me a ROAS of 2, 4.71, 0, and I'm trying to see the behavior and the difference and how the budget is distributing, right? And then in here, when diversifying, ROAS consistently holds. So this campaign is this screenshot from September 27th to October 7th. So, and in this case, I have this CBO Andromeda full funnel 3 ad sets, 2.72 after 1,500 in spend, and every single day ROAS is above 2. And then I've got other campaigns that are dancing in ROAS like fucking crazy, right? So there's a lot to learn there. But guys, the main thing, if you read about Andromeda, and if you've seen some of the videos or just about the article and the new algorithm, the change in delivery and retrieval, it's creative diversification and signal quality. So let's break them down for you. Now, when it comes to creative diversification, we have to, like, my approach is there are two types of diversification. The first one is horizontal diversification. What does it mean? Changing and having different ad formats, different ad visuals, different ad messages, different concepts, different avatars. That's good. Into the same CBO, and then you diversify. But also vertical diversification would be that with different creatives, I try to target people in the top of the funnel, in the middle, and in the bottom. Or alternatively, it would be the same: problem aware, solution aware, product aware, or prospecting and retargeting. But the thing is, you're trying to have ads that fulfill every single purpose of the funnel with diversification in format and message and everything. All right. And so a really good practice, or actually let's see the mistake with ads from Dr. Squatch. So we would do an ABO testing campaign, and we would have the intention of testing different formats and just picking one that's the winner and producing 20 more winners like that. So let's see the examples. Imagine Dr. Squatch would test this ad in an ABO campaign. Top 3 soaps every 55 plus men has to try. Like I call this listicle video. And then Dr. Squatch would go on and be like, okay, let's make a bunch more, just making slight variations to the hook or the music background or whatever. Small variations, and 1, 2, 3, another one. Let's do another one like this. Change the hook. Now change the models. Now change the background music. So these are small variations of a winning ad. And these used to be great, but not anymore. Why? Because now we have this. So what has changed is this thing in the new algorithm. So watch my previous video to understand retrieval. But basically, right now, you're not going to a specific audience. You're going to all the audience competing with all of the ads, and you're trying to be pre-selected as the most relevant ad for that specific user. And if that specific user, like, you cannot force your ads to somebody. Your ads have to be relevant to that unique user. So there's gonna be a user that really consumes video. They love the sexiest, they love these things. The ad's gonna be delivered to them. But there are people who do not consume video, or people who are not interested in this type of communication, whatever that the algorithm can find. And as you're competing with millions of ads at the same time for each and every single one of the impressions that happen on Meta on a daily basis, you're not gonna be pre-selected. So then you don't even participate in ranking, and you don't get to auction. So the CPM will be high. So what is the solution? The solution is creative diversification horizontally and vertically. So these are the examples. Dr. Squatch, let's say they have these top three, that's working very well for prospecting. And also they have these, shooting, more like studio type campaign, purposefully shot with good cameras, etc. Then they would have a full UGC unboxing, whatever, collaboration. Then they would have a meme. Then they would have a product demo where they break down the ingredients and stuff. And then they would have a street interview type of ad. They could have podcast ads, whatever, and more images. And then they would also have these at the bottom of the funnel. These for product aware people who are about to buy, and they're just in this stage of doubting, right? So reviews, up to 51% off, new customers, and show all the products, free gifts. So a bunch of different ads to cover that bottom of the funnel, right? So no matter where you are in the funnel, if you're in the top of the funnel, they will serve you different formats. And if you're in the middle, different formats. And if you're in the bottom, different formats and different messages. So what Dr. Squatch would try to do in this new structure is they want to be relevant to every single user. And the only way to do that is to provide Meta with a ton of options where at any given impression, they can pick and choose and be like, do we go to the top 3 video? Or should we better go into the meme because this specific user has a past history of clicking memes, or is in a feed of memes, consuming memes, and your ad appears as a meme. That's supernatural. that's super organic, that's super personalized, which is what Meta's looking for. So this will be diversification vertically and horizontally. And this is what we need to do nowadays in specific CBOs with a specific structure, but this is the direction, okay? Still, some ABO testing here and there, it's kind of okay for very important tests, okay. But eventually you have to consolidate into this type of mix, yes or yes, and you've seen that in my screenshots and it performs better. Now, the second point is signal quality, and I'm not gonna make this video crazy long. Creative diversification, signal quality. Also, I didn't mention, if you guys are new to the channel, welcome in. My name is Manuel Gomez. This is me in the Meta headquarters a bunch of times. International speaker. I'm a coach as well in AdWorld. I have a module there about Facebook ads, hyperscaling, Ezra with Fedotov. So that's pretty cool. This year so far, 3 million ad spend with a ROAS of 4. So a little bit lower ad spend this year, but because the demand of high ROAS from my clients is it's more demanding. So very good so far. But what I was mentioning, so signal quality is a complex topic. So let's just read through this and then we go into the examples and how to do this, okay? So what is signal quality and why do we need to maximize it? So this is how easily and clearly Andromeda can understand who your best customers are and which ads deserve delivery priority for a specific impression. The higher the signal quality, the better the performance. So the more you rank in the auctions. What is Meta looking for? Two things in signals, okay? So data, okay? How much fresh data you provide, recent purchases, user behavior in your active campaigns, volume of events per day. So if you've got a lot of add to carts, it's easier for Facebook to know, okay, your customer is women 40 plus. That's just data, okay? So pixel and conversions API. And second, how clearly your ad creative communicates to Meta who your target is. So what not to do? Tracking very little data. So conversions API is not set up or it's set up in the wrong way, but deduplication, pausing campaigns super fast so it never accumulates data, and getting engagement from the wrong users. So let's see it practically. Now, point number 1, if you sell to women 40 plus, don't put men in your ads. Or if you sell to women 40 plus, don't put women 18 years old in your ads because you're giving the wrong signal to the platform. And if you do, for example, this, and let's exaggerate it. If you would put a UGC model that looks super young, talking about wrinkles, talking about being a mom, talking about whatever, let's say 40 plus type of communication, but it doesn't match who's there, this is confusing to the machine. And because of this, you will be competing, you will be retrieved, and you will be competing and ranking an auction with the wrong advertisers because you will be competing against advertisers who are targeting these 18 years old. And so your ad will enter, will be pre-selected for, where is the graph? Here. So your ad will be pre-selected because Meta will say, oh, I'm delivering ads to an 18-year-old and this ad features an 18-year-old, so this is relevant. Okay. Your ad will be retrieved, but you will not win ranking or auction. And that's bad because you're selected, but you don't win. And that basically means low delivery, so high CPM. And you don't want that. So that would be signal quality. And second would be go into your events manager right now and just make sure everything is properly set up. So you turn on automatic advanced matching, which is right here. Turn it on and make sure everything here is fully on. Of course, set up conversions API. Should happen automatically, but just make sure it's there. Event match quality on purchase event should be above 9. No discussion. And then in data freshness, number 4, especially going into Black Friday, try to set it up to real time. This is not easy to do, but look at it. And if you have it hourly here, try to go real time. With this, doing these two things, you will already see an improvement in signal quality. So because Facebook Meta no longer has access to, 100% of pixel data, or there's too much privacy rules, regulations, and they want to avoid that because it means problems in court and billions lost, whatever. So they want you to provide clear signals in data and in the creative. So let's just do it. Let's do that. Let's do creative diversification as the CBOs that I showed you before. And with this, you're going to see a huge improvement already. That's the video. And if you need further help and you want to see everything more personalized to you, and me reviewing your ad account and you being in the group with everybody and discussing Andromeda in real time in Black Friday, go to the link in my bio, go to the link in the YouTube description, text me on Instagram, and we will onboard you and welcome you into the coaching. But with everything that I've shared today, you should have, leveled up your knowledge about Andromeda. If you have already gone through the videos about the article and what is Andromeda and what has changed and the whole algorithm, and now we need to do this, need to do that. But now on a practical level, you know exactly what you need to do. So let's just do it and have a phenomenal Q4, everybody. Pleasure to have you in the YouTube one more week. If you enjoyed, hit the like for the algorithm, subscribe to get a notification whenever I post, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Wish you the best. Ciao, ciao. Peace.